All right. Are we back on? Well, that was fun. Right in the middle of everything, my screen just completely froze. And all right. So, and I tried launching the laptop, and it wouldn't start to stream. It was saying it was starting to stream, and it wouldn't start. You know why? Because I was playing with Hopin, which can use that, and that just completely messed me up. Wow, well, that was fun. Isn't technology just awesome? You know, and the funny part is where I was at actually talks about why the High is still part of one of our partners. Okay, let me just. I don't know. It was just weird because I mean, like all my screens just went blank, but like the camera was still showing on, so I wasn't sure if I'm still streaming. Yeah. All right. Let me find my place back where I was. All right, and then here we go. We go back to that screen. All right, let's continue back where we were at. You gotta love this. All right, here's the funny thing, because this applies exactly what I'm talking about the Hyatt. So number one, I want to talk about the Hyatt has been awesome. You know, they were a great event. They were great for us last year. Like I was talking about, you know, I mean, they're obviously losing tons of money this year, right? They're not making their money. And technically, they didn't have to give me. They did not have to allow me out of the contract yet, because right now we don't know. You know, all the orders in before this, but not only have they allowed us out of the contract, which is a big relief, because our contract actually has some pretty strong minimums, which most of these type of contracts do. But they've allowed us out of it. But we're actually still going to. So Code PaLOusa is actually still going to be at the Hyatt. Right, and what do I mean by this? Well, we're going to actually have our central location, so that if like things would just happen, at least everyone's together and we can kind of try to figure things out. So I mean, sure enough, we're we're going to have this whole area of we're for those who were at Code PaLOusa last year, remember that Park Suite, the really long room along Liberty Street. We're going to be using that room. We're going to still be social distancing, right? But this is going to be our central operations. And you also notice we're going to have, oh, I'm not showing it, sorry. There we go. We're going to have the video area, right? So we are going to do some live videos from there. Hopefully, because I still want to spotlight the city, right? So hopefully we can still do some live interviews and such from this video area. So still, working all those out. All right, now that I've gone through all that and we've experienced how fun live streaming can be. Let's talk about the particulars. So, what is Code PaLOusa going to be this year? Well, number one, it is still August 19th through 21st. That has not changed at all. And it's still relatively the same format, right? So so here's what our schedule is going to look like. On August 19th will be our workshop day, just like it always has been. We'll start off with a kickoff. At 8:30, just to get everyone going and get things started. But then, as of right now, we have 6 full-time, full-day workshops, and we have 8 half-day workshops that are scheduled and confirmed. So I know for a fact those are going to be happening. We'll have an afternoon introduction just to get everyone back in the mindset of going through everything. But I will have some more workshops. I have some workshops that, we would love to. It's interesting, when we picked the workshops, we still were we're going to have a physical event, right? And so we were looking at space requirements, we were looking at, conflicts and such. So now, there have been a couple of sessions that just, we didn't change anything. Right, and I know I'm not showing the schedule here; it's just showing half days, and I'm doing it on purpose because I still need to finalize that part of it. But I mean, we actually had sessions, like there was a session that was going to a workshop with using Legos. And we kept it in there because I wanted to see, basically I wanted to see if the speaker still had a way of doing it. And he reached out to me and said, no, it's just not going to be possible. The point is, we will have, 12 workshops going on at a time. And the one thing I do want to note, especially for the speakers who are on here, really those full day workshops can kind of span the day however they really want to and make that work for them. Since there's no established lunchtime, there's no meal being served, really give them more option to run it as they do. We're just, we're asking the speakers just to make sure that they do 6 hours of content. Because that's, we define a half day as 3 hours and a full day is 6 hours. So, long story short, today we'll start at 8:30 and we'll finish by 4:30. When we get to Thursday, right? So Thursday is still going to be very similar to a normal Code PaLOusa with some slight tweaks. So one, we will start the day at 8 a.m. with a daily kickoff. And what exactly the daily kickoff will be, I have some ideas, but I don't have. No, the speakers will not be presenting from the Hyatt. Speakers will be presenting from home. So the only ones will be at the Hyatt. And yeah, every time I explain it, I still need a better way to explain this. The ones that will be at Hyatt will be basically myself and 10 to 12 other people. And yeah, exactly. It'll be the command center. All right, and it's where we'll manage things exactly for what just happened, here on my live stream, right? Being able to handle when problems happen, so we can make sure things can happen or can get fixed. All right, so we'll have a kickoff. They'll start off at 8, and then our sessions will start at 8:30, right? So we'll have 8:30, 9:45, 11, 1:30, and 2:45. All right, so pretty normal. Actually, it's pretty standard of our sessions. Last year we started at 9. We are going to start them at 8:30, and the reason behind that is because with everyone connecting from home, I didn't want the day to end too late. All right, so we'll have all those, and then the other thing I'm going to do, and I'm kind of stealing this from what Microsoft did at the MVP Summit. We'll have these actions going on, things going on during these intermissions, right? So for those who don't need to get up, right, who want to stay on, we'll have some fun things going on in between sessions. And then our keynote will start at 4 o'clock, right? Run between an hour and 90 minutes. Yes, time zone will be, time zone consideration will be used for speak. Yes, they will be. Really good point, Chris, on that. Sure enough, Chris, you have less of an issue because you're only an hour ahead, behind us. But I have folks from Europe who will be speaking. I don't know if Hank is still on, but Hank will be speaking, right? And obviously, he's over in Europe. He won't be won't be able to check in. He won't necessarily want to be at a 4 o'clock presentation, right? Because that'll be 10 or 11 o'clock his time. Actually, we have some speakers coming from Turkey, right? So I mean, it's definitely a whole lot. Yeah, exactly. So so then we'll have our keynote. I cannot announce the keynote speaker yet. I have been working on securing somebody. If we can get her, it is going to be it's going to be an amazing keynote, no matter who we get, because we'll get someone awesome. But I have someone who I'm working with. There are some hurdles that have to be worked out. Really not on their part, on companies they work with part. But we're working that out. But at any rate, we'll have our keynote. Friday will be pretty much the same, except for at 4 o'clock we'll have that last session period, and then we'll add in a wrap up session, right? Just to kind of wrap up everything we saw. I see Kevin's putting his name in for the keynote spot. Actually, Kevin, you could probably do a keynote. Why I shouldn't do a keynote? I would say actually I think Kevin could do a good keynote. But at any rate, so we'll wrap up Friday with a wrap up session. Things to still be figured out. There are 2 things I still want to figure out what and if we could do. And those are, you know, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off. Yeah, number one is attendee party, right? I don't know what I could do. I mean, I could potentially, you know, we could do something, right, and just share the screens. I don't know. That might be too many people. Maybe we'll have, I don't know. We'll figure something out for that, right? Along with the Toast to Women in Technology reception. That has become one of my favorite things over the last. Thank you, Jane Grammer. I appreciate that. You know, it has definitely become one of my favorite things at Code PaLOusa. And we've done this 3 years. Last year was our 3rd year doing that reception, and I just, it's gotten better every year, and I want to figure out something for that. I don't know what that will be. It might just be a Zoom party, right? I don't know. We'll figure something out. It's not only is it just a great event, it's an important event, all right? So still have to figure those out, all right? So those are the things that are harder to do online, but we're working on it. All right. So what's going to be included, right? I mean, you saw the schedules and everything. So here's the one thing. Code PaLOusa for the last several years has had 3 different ticket levels. Basically, a single day, 2-day, and 3-day ticket. And the pricing was actually very simple. You know, it was 1 day price, 2 day, you know, so forth. We're making Code PaLOusa 2020 a much simpler ticket. Just 1 ticket type. Make that whole lot simpler. So when you get a ticket, you have access to all of the sessions. So there's not, you know, you're not gonna have to worry about, oh, I didn't get a ticket for the workshops. I wish I did. You're now gonna have that, right? Along with that, you know, all the recordings. So again, here comes the awesome part, right? And we tried recordings a couple years ago, and that did not work out very well. This year, it's going to work because it's all built in. I mean, it's you know, so it'll work a whole lot better. So all attendees will have access to the recordings afterwards. This will still be private, right? So I mean, you will have to be an attendee to view those sessions. But as an attendee, you'll be able to view them all. So, and that's going to be well over 200 hours of content that you will be able to like clean up your home office. Sure enough, it's kind of funny. Everyone gets to see my whole home office. So those who watch my stream, I normally have a green screen up. I actually had to close that up and make sure everything was straight behind me. Primarily because my Code PaLOusa logo on my shirt, I didn't want it to get messed up with the green screen. But so everyone's going to have access to everything. As Dave Manley, and I don't know if Dave's stuck on after our little outage there, he was asking about open spaces. We are going to have open spaces, right? I love open spaces. These are great. So those who don't know what open spaces are, basically think of it, this is, you know, sometimes called the unconference, right? Open spaces allow me, you know, I have something I want to talk about. We can do this, right? And sure enough, the Hopin technology we're going to be using actually will allow for this. So, you know, I'll steal from CodeMash, you know, the way how they explain open spaces. You know, open spaces can be about whatever you want, right? It doesn't even have to be technology related, you know. So maybe you want to talk about podcasting, right? And you can go on there and say, hey, I want to have a podcast about podcast, or I want to have an open space about podcasting. Or maybe you want to have about maybe beer brewing is your thing, and you want to talk to other people like that. You can have that. Or maybe you want something about podcasting about beer brewing, right? You could, you know, whatever meets your fancy. You'll be able to go say, you know, pick a time, pick a topic, and then you show up at that time, and like-minded people will be there, and it's just an open circle. It won't be a circle per se because it'll all be online, but we'll be able to do that. One little restriction here is the way how that will work is up to 10 people can be on video, because that is a restriction in the software we're using. But 500 people could be lurking, right? Could be watching the chat, you know, watching the videos and in the chat channel. So I don't think that, you know, and really open spaces were really meant for smaller circles anyways. So I don't think that 10 active or video participant limit is really a problem. Now I will say on the open spaces, we will be monitoring those. Not that we're necessarily going to be watching all the open spaces, but we'll be at least monitoring what subject get written up. just to make sure, right? And again, I'll pretty much allow anything as long as it doesn't violate the code of conduct, and that's really what it boils down. All right, the other thing that will be included, as we talked about, the online networking. I mean, this is your way of still meeting people, still finding people out. And what I just noticed I didn't put on my slide, but also in here will be networking with sponsors, right? And whether just getting information or speaking with them, right? We'll be sending out emails later on today that will to potential sponsors to hope that to get them back in. Along with, I hope to actually get sponsors who I wouldn't normally get because traveling to Louisville just doesn't make sense. Hopefully we can add some more on there. And then the other thing, this is important to me. Like I say, this is a real conference. Real conferences have t-shirts. We are gonna have t-shirts, right? And not additional. I mean, these are attendees will be able to get a t-shirt. We will ship them out to you. Right? I've figured out the budget to make this work, and so you still get those t-shirts. We'll work up some really cool design, that will tie in everything that is this year and have those t-shirts. And the great part is I mean, speakers get tons of t-shirts. You didn't get a whole lot of t-shirts this year, did you? so that'll make this this t-shirt even more valuable, I think. So what is this all going to cost? Well, before I show the price, I want to explain something. It's not cheap to run an event. I hope to put the pause in the wrong place. Not cheap to run an event, no matter how you run this. It's definitely a whole lot cheaper than it used to be. Kind of funny, even my total budget isn't much more than what a meal costs in a regular Code PaLOusa year. But what we've been able to do, we've been able to figure this out at $150. But again, this gets you all this access. So hopefully that will work out. That was Space Pants. Okay. I love the chat on Twitch, right? But anyway, so this does include everything you see in here, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about pricing. I have another thing I want to work up. Before I talk about that, I do want to talk about sponsorships. I'm not going to bore people because everyone here are not in the position to sponsor or work for companies that are in the position. But there might be a couple, so I wanted to mention this real quick. First, I want to mention, we do already have a sponsor. So Software Guild, actually, as COVID was really taking a hit in Kentucky, Software Guild still believes in this conference and sponsored us at platinum level. I mean, so it's I mean they didn't just go for the cheap thing. I mean they went at a higher level. So I really appreciate Software Guild for believing in us and believing in what we do. So real quick, I mean, here is the sponsorship stuff. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in here. If you've ever looked at our sponsorship stuff, we've actually narrowed everything down, just 3 packages, because I wanted it to be simpler. And honestly, came up to a point there was only so much I could offer sponsors. If you are interested, definitely check this out. The Code PaLOusa website will be updated as soon as I finish this live stream, and all this information will be posted on there. We didn't post it yet. Primarily because we were waiting for this announcement, but actually we just finally concluded on sponsorship information last night. But so you can see you can get an idea in here, and to include, we're going to allow people, so there is hopefully still going to be some swag that will go out to attendees, right? Completely up to the sponsors, but hopefully we'll still have that possibility. But why did I include the sponsors on this? Other than hopefully, maybe someone is in a position on the stream to sponsor us, or at least talk to someone who can. Sponsors actually can help attendees out a lot, more than even in normal years. So we don't get a whole lot of sponsorship. I mean, last year we had 20 some, I don't remember the number off the top of my head. We had 20 some odd sponsors, but honestly, it doesn't bring enough revenue to make. It makes a difference, but it doesn't bring enough revenue to make a humongous change. Code PaLOusa. This year I actually built a budget that I have no sponsors other than Software Guild, because Software Guild was already there when I rebuilt the budget. So what does that mean? So that $150 is what it cost me per attendee to run this event. Because Code PaLOusa is all about providing the event. You know, we're not here to make money. Just trying not to lose money is really what it boils down to. So, and I don't have a name for this, but I'm doing price guarantee. And what do I mean by this? So here's the way it's going to work. If you buy your ticket $150, right, and then at the end of the conference, I already know if I get no other sponsorships, that is what's going to cost me to run this event. But if we get enough sponsors that they bring in some revenue into here, we're basically giving it right back to the attendees, right? We're going to do refunds, right? So if that means that at the end of the game, the ticket the per attendee cost really was only say $125, then I will refund everyone that $25. Right. Honestly, it's a lot of work of me, but I think it's the right thing. See you, Sean. So definitely wanted to just speak to that. Along with the other part is I have a certain number. I'm publicly not stating that number, but I do have a certain number of what the budget was built on. Once we go over that number, if we get more attendees, that will also help and will lower the price of the tickets. So just something, again, our way of making sure our core goal of Code PaLOusa is to provide a good cost event that that will help people out, right? And at a price that people can afford. One last thing I want to talk about. So sure enough, Code PaLOusa tickets do not sell a whole lot until we get closer to the event. There are really a couple handfuls of people have bought tickets before the pandemic started. We will be refunding you because obviously you paid up to $300 some odd for those tickets. We will be refunding the difference. The one thing, and I will be sending an email to all those folks. The one thing I will ask is give me a couple weeks to get that happen. Just because, I mean, there's only so much money left in the bank at this point, right? But now we're relaunching everything. Hopefully, ticket sales will kick back up, and as soon as we have that, we'll get those back out there. So one last thing I want to say, definitely I encourage you, to follow and watch Tail Code more. I mean, one, because this is what what Code PaLOusa is about, is what we're doing at Tail Learn Code. But we're going to do two things on Tail Learn Code. One, we're going to have speaker interviews. So I'm going to be interviewing speakers of Code PaLOusa on here. So you'll get kind of a preview of what they're going to be talking about. Also, who are they, right? You kind of learn who these speakers are before. But also, we are going to do ticket giveaways on Tail Learn Code. And yeah, it's to kind of bump up my numbers. So I'm not shy about saying that. But it's also it's my way of giving back to people who watch. So my calls to action: register. Right now, we've got this event out there. Please go out and register. And make this really happen. If you're in that position to sponsor, please check out the sponsorships. Talk to us. Maybe we can make something happen. Definitely, if you're not, follow Code PaLOusa, Twitter. There'll be more and more updates, like when we figure out how we could do the women in technology reception and such. And like I said, follow and watch Tail Learn Code. Right? We'll be having more stuff towards Code PaLOusa. And like I said, we'll be giving tickets away. All right, so that go to more of a question and answer period. Let me actually move over here because I'm just going to switch this off of here back to my normal chat view. Here we go. So that's Code PaLOusa. I hope everyone found that interesting. I mean, I think I answered most everything while we went through chat. I'm just gonna, of course, I lost a bunch of chat because I lost my stream. But I think I answered most everyone's questions. Please try the fish. Sorry, Chris, I don't get that reference. Thank you, Hank. I'm excited to have you at Code PaLOusa, right? Along with all the speakers. I mean, it's interesting. We did not have as many speakers submit this year, which wasn't surprising, right? I mean, our call for speakers was in March, right? And you definitely saw a dip. The number of people submit. Had some really great speakers submit, right? And that's why we'll be working on the schedule over the next couple of days. I hope to release the schedule next week, and that's where everyone will see all the speakers, and you'll see that this really is a great slot of speakers we've got. One other thing I do want to say, if you yes, we Sir Jonathan, we will be looking for sponsors, or I'm sorry, for volunteers. There'll be more information coming out that because we have to finalize exactly what we're doing on the volunteers. Again, it's not going to be as many because one, social distancing, so we want just the number of people we're going to need for that. But yeah, we will be having sponsors. Tina Maddox will be the contact, but follow Code PaLOusa, at Code PaLOusa on Twitter, and you'll be able to see it. One thing I want to say, because I know I have several speakers on here. You'll notice there have been no decline email gone out yet, and that was on purpose. I knew we were going to have speakers who weren't comfortable doing online, and because presenting online is a different story, right? Yeah, there's a chat window, but it's not the same thing as having immediate audience feedback. So I took no offense to any speaker who said, "Hey, I just can't do this," right? We will be, I hope in the next week I should send out some more acceptances, right? To fill out, to finish filling out the thing. And here's the thing: don't just because you didn't get the acceptance now, earlier, you get the acceptance now. It is not a slight. It's even with. I mean, we still had. I forgot the exact number, but 300 some odd session, or no, it was more than that. So I forget the number we had. But several hundred people, submitted. There were sessions I wanted. I just couldn't, just didn't fit in the schedule, and fitting everything in. So we'll definitely be adding to the schedule. Not that anyone sees the schedule at the moment anyway, but there will be more being added. So at that, I mean, any other questions? All right. I mean, again, I live stream every day. Feel free to ask questions then. On Twitter, I'm Chad Green, or you can get me at Code PaLOusa. Sure enough, I have no problems hiding my email, cgreen@CodePaLOusa, or if you easier one to remember, chadgreen@chadgreen.com. Definitely feel free to reach out by any questions you have. And with that, I think I am going to wrap it up with that. Is there going on a press release? We never really done much on press releases. So I don't think so. Now, with it being said, I actually have a conversation with Liv and Lou coming up here soon, and so maybe we might talk about that. Because one of the things about Code PaLOusa is showing off this awesome city. Right, Louisville is. I just love this city. Right, there's a reason why I something for approvals. Because maybe I will do something. I mean, like I said, we just haven't done anything for the last couple of years on press releases. Admittedly, we just didn't get a whole lot of traction. Actually, this year I might get more traction just because of fewer events out there. I definitely, might have to look into that. Thank you for that comment, Sir Jonathan. So what was I going to say? I forgot. But at any rate, that's Code PaLOusa. Again, also hope you can check out my streams, 11:30 to 1 every weekday. Again, tomorrow I'm going to have to move it around. My wife really wants our bathroom remodeled, and I have to keep my wife happy, right? It's and so that's the only time I can get this contractor to come in to give me some estimate. Was right in the middle of my stream. But I will do a stream tomorrow. I'm actually the reason why I don't have I can't tell you time yet is we're pretty much we're not off tomorrow at our company, but most everyone's taking the time off. I'm just trying to figure out how some things are rearranging based upon that, and then I'll figure out a time. And with that, let's go ahead and for those who are new to Twitch, one of the things we typically do on Twitch is we go on and we raid another channel. So let me see who we've got going on right now. And of course my browser wants to go slow. Normally I already have this loaded, but like I say, everything crashed on me. So let's see here. Yeah, this would be good. Let's go ahead and we're going to move over to Brian Lagunas, really good streamer. He's talking about Prism for Examiner, right? Very topical with what we see. So, as I said, we're going to move that over. We're going to be moving over to Brian Lagunas. I hope you definitely keep on checking him out. And also, I would say, again, Lovo.net tonight. Go to meetup.com. You'll find all the information you need about that. That'll be a really great presentation. Thanks, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
So by default, if you do not provide an overridden name, a custom name, it's going to use the name. Oh my goodness! We have a raid. Haven't had this in a while, have we?
It's a raid! Raid with 18! Defend the chat! Do not let them raid us! Unopposed! Terror code! Hey, Griff! This is the ramp! Thanks for joining. Great to have you all. Awesome.
I didn't see a lot of defending going on, people. I didn't see a lot of defending going. I'm a little disappointed. Didn't see a lot of defending. Tell our code. This is one of the reasons I love raiding Brian. Thank you for the raid, my friend. What were you doing on your stream? How did your stream go? I hope it went well. Now that build is over, people actually watch streams again, right? I actually had a stream on Tuesday during build. Let's just say that not many people showed up. Oh hell. I was waiting for that. Lasamat, redeem the Spartan mask.
I am now a Spartan and will code as a Spartan. Hooah! Palin0304, thank you for the follow. Nice stream effects for raid. That's awesome. I appreciate that. You know, a lot of work went into that. A lot of work went into that. Watch or troll streams, Lasamat says. Probably both. A little bit of both, right? So, you're actually joining at a perfect time. What we're talking about right now... Oh, hold on. Teller and Code said we were talking about taking Code PaLOusa online this year. Oh, man. That will be an interesting challenge for sure. I've heard good things about Code PaLOusa. I've never spoken at Code PaLOusa. I've thought about it, but I just never pulled the trigger on it, right? Never made it happen. Good luck with that. I hope you guys figure that out. Curious what platform you'll use to stream your Code PaLOusa. Well, if it's virtual, it'll probably be easier now. Because can you remind me where Code PaLOusa is? There's so many of them, like Code on the Beach, and I don't remember where Code PaLOusa was. It's not the Kalihari or whatever resort? No, that's not it, is it? That's that conference. Where is Code PaLOusa located? Traditionally, when you had it in person. I'm curious. Okay, so for everyone who just joined, let me kind of give you Kentucky. There, Kentucky, Louisville. Nice. Well, good luck picking that thing online. So I run Boise Code Camp, and we were considering making it online this year, and we said, no, forget it. We're just not going to do it. wasn't worth it for us. But we're not a paid event either. You know, our Code Camp is free for everybody and run by volunteers, so we just said, nah, no Code Camp this year. Anyways, it did work this time. Oh, good, MMSoft, it worked. Perfect. I'm glad it worked for you. Okay, so for everyone who just joined, what we're talking about now is we're starting to talk about navigating